Hey there everyone, so I have received your Facebook advertising questions and I'm going to run through the top 15 questions that you asked me on how to generate more leads, why aren't my Facebook ads converting, how do I need to fix my website pages, to help you understand and identify what's missing from your current strategy and what you can tweak to improve those results so you can boost your sales and of course increase your profit margins. But before I get to that, one thing I noticed that was a common thread throughout all of your questions after I'd looked at some of your websites, your landing page, the products and services that you were offering, and even your ads, was that the fundamental principles of marketing kind of got thrown out the window in many of those cases, which meant you're creating an advert to amplify an existing problem in your business. So when that happens, it doesn't matter how many different ad types you create, the different images or copy you use, there's always going to be a fundamental flaw in your strategy. And throughout these questions, I'm going to help you identify what those fundamental flaws are. I'm also going to give you a free cheat sheet that I use when my Facebook ads aren't working to pinpoint what the issue is and my immediate steps that I can take to turn that around. So let's kick off the questions because I got 15 to dive into. First one is, Ben, why aren't my Facebook ads converting? Well, this comes down to various factors for different individuals. On my cheat sheet, once again free, don't even have to opt in for it. If you're not getting conversions, your first port of call is to look at your landing page. Now, I did notice when some of you submitted your examples, you weren't sending people to landing pages. So a landing page, and here, see on the screen right now, this is one of my lead conversion quizzes that I use to drive tens of thousands of leads into, and then that goes into our sales funnel. So this is just one page. There are no links to blogs, other products or services, anything about who I am. It's the advert up front that's really selling the proposition, and then the landing page, in this case the lead generation page, is very simple. You don't scroll down too far, it's easy to understand, you get what it's about immediately, which encourages people to opt in. Now this one gets about 70% opt-in rate, which is unheard of when it comes to getting opt-ins from Facebook advertising. So spend more time on your landing pages. If you do have a particular product that you want to sell, don't just send people to the general website on the homepage because they're going to be distracted by all of the different factors. Second of all, is that if you send them to the general homepage instead of the product page, you're not creating a targeted lookalike audience based on the interest that people have shown in a specific product. And by creating that audience, getting them to fire that pixel when they land on that specific product page, you can obviously remarket to those individuals, which I did notice that some individuals weren't doing. So the first protocol, if you're not getting conversions, but you are getting clicks through to the landing page or wherever you're sending people to, then you should place your focus on that landing page first. Once you've started tweaking and testing that, if your ads aren't converting, then that's when you really need to start testing out various different audiences. And that could be 10, 20, 30 different audiences. But obviously you don't have to do it all at once because you're working with your own set budget. Other factors to take into consideration when you're not getting conversions are not just the landing page, it's the offer, it's the copy, but it's also the hero image on the website that you're sending people to. So the hero image is the big image at the top of the website page that really sets the tone for the interaction and the type of business and personal brand or business brand that you have for your business. One thing that we'll do, which sounds crazy to some people, is that we make use of a platform called Unbounce. So that's unbounce.com. In Unbounce, you can create various different landing pages. They have various templates in there, so it makes it really easy for you, and you don't have to hire an expensive graphic designer to create these pages. And within Unbounce, you can duplicate those pages and create what are called A/B split tests. So we'll leave the copy, the product proposition, everything on the landing page, and we'll simply change out the big hero image in the background. So we'll test potentially up to 10 different images in the background, and we'll see which image gets the highest conversion rate. Once we get that winning image, the next phase is to start testing the headline copy on that landing page. Nothing else, just the headline copy. So you're only testing one element at a time so you can define what specifically works for you. We found in this kind of testing for the past year, we've actually generated from one $47 product well over $500,000 in sales. Once you get the winner, it's incredible what it can do for your revenue, your mindset. It takes off a hell of a lot of pressure, especially if you're generating those consistent sales. So do not underestimate these particular elements. Question number 2, are Facebook Messenger chatbots going to stick around, and should we put any attention on them? The answer is, oh my God, yes. And you should have been doing this almost a year ago. I think it was back in April when they first launched back in 2017. We jumped on this immediately. One thing that you need to be aware of when it comes to any social media marketing platform, it's always first mover advantage. If Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube create a change that allows you to connect with your audience in a different, more positive way, then you want to jump on that change quickly before everyone else jumps into it and the competition gets overrun. You certainly don't want to wait for that. Messenger chatbots are an awesome way. You would have heard me talk about this in the series of videos. If you haven't watched all of the videos, I'll put the links in the comment section below so you can check it out. But Messenger chatbots are an amazing way to interact with your audience in a new and engaging way and ask questions and really find out what your audience wants and get that feedback to help shape future products and services. But the great thing about a Messenger chatbot is you can create what I call it's your choose your own adventure of marketing. So someone can start somewhere, you ask a question, a button comes up, you maybe give them 3 choices. They click on one of those buttons, then you can send out a personalized message depending on which button they click on, and then that can take them further into the sales funnel, but in a far more personalized and tailored approach, which is just an incredible way to interact and engage with your audience. So yes, they're going to stick around, and you should be on them like yesterday, last year in fact. Next question. How come I'm getting clicks but no sales? Well, this is really super common. Going to my cheat sheet, like I said, you don't have to opt in to download this, just grab it. So if you're getting clicks but no sales, first of all, like before, check your landing page, but also check the context of the advert to the landing page. Is there a disconnect between the two? If they're looking at your advert and then they land on your landing page and the image style is so incredibly different that it looks like it's a completely different website, you're going to lose the viewer immediately and you're not going to get that sale. So the messaging, although you're going to be running different ads with different headlines, the messaging needs to sync up between the two. The other thing, if you're getting clicks and no sales, have you looked at your audience demographic? If the landing page isn't lining up with the advert, if that's not the issue. Test different audiences, as many as you possibly can. I have found in my experiences, we will get maybe 2 to 3 audience types that are absolutely killing it despite trying multiple different audiences overall. So you eventually cull it back. And that's what you really need to be focused on. Solve one problem at a time, or you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to quit. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to quit Facebook ads at the very beginning, and I've been advertising on this platform the second it launched the advertising option, and clicks and leads and sales were really cheap when it first launched. Hence, once again, first mover advantage. So take advantage of the different tools that you have within Facebook, including audience insights, so you can do research on different audiences that you could potentially target. Now, there is another audience question coming up, but I'll answer that a little bit later. The other thing, if you're getting clicks and no sales, what's your offer like? Have you got a really strong offer that they visit the landing page and go, all right, I've got to do one of two things. I've either got to opt in immediately because this sounds really cool, or B, I need to buy this product right now, whatever it is. Create a sense of urgency so they don't click off your landing page and keep scrolling through the news feed. It is a competition for attention. If you address a real problem and you create a way in which you can solve it, and you can do that through fashion products, jewelry, and that problem is always going to come back to, is this piece of jewelry going to make me look great? Is this t-shirt or dress going to make me feel amazing? So tie it back into those individual emotions that people want as an outcome when they purchase your product and service. You've got to pull in that emotional element to really catch them by the eyeballs. Next question, how can I reduce my advertising costs? This is a great one. It's also a really detailed one, so let's get stuck in immediately. Please grab a pen and paper, and you should have it already. As you can tell, I'm just slamming out the tips right now. So if you want to reduce your ad costs, you need to be testing and measuring as fast as you possibly can to get to the outcome. In a previous video, I think it was video number 1 in this series, go back and watch it, I talk about the quick fire Facebook ads tests that I conduct. So to give you a quick recap, over a 72-hour period of time, first of all, we're going to set up adverts, keep the same copy in the headline, body, under the image, but also create variations of that specific ad. So that could be the same copy with 5 different images, 5 different campaigns in total. We're going to run that campaign for 72 hours, see which images are working, they're getting clicks, they're getting a high click-through rate, they may not be getting conversions yet, but the ones that aren't getting any interaction, we're going to start turning those off, and then we're going to pick that winner and put it out to an audience that we know typically converts, although that audience may not have seen that advert yet, because we're trying to prevent banner blindness and create a new campaign to re-spark interest in the product or service at hand. So that's one of the first things that you can do. Second of all, you need to be testing all of your copy. In a lot of cases, it can come down, if your landing page, all of that stuff is working perfectly, but the copy in the advert just isn't hitting the mark, then revisit that. Are you solving that problem in that copy? Are you telling people, okay, here's the problem, don't know what to wear on the weekend, check this out. So problem, here's how to get your solution. Obviously, they've got to click to find out what that solution is. The other thing that you can be testing to reduce your ad costs is the difference between short copy and really long form copy, as well as short videos and really long videos. And I have found when it comes to selling online courses, a long video, 10, 15, even 20 minutes long, converts amazingly well, but it doesn't just get those immediate conversions. It keeps converting for up to a year after that before it starts to decline in conversions, at which case you create another video and go out again. So it doesn't matter the product or service you really sell. These strategies apply to whatever it is because they come back to the fundamentals of not just really good and strong marketing, but the fundamental principles you're required to have to succeed with Facebook advertising. So if you're not succeeding at this stage, you've probably written down a few things that you can test right now, so you can just go through, tick all of these things off to start improving your results. The other thing that you must do to decrease your advertising costs is to look at what is the back end that supports the front end, which is the Facebook ad campaigns. If someone clicks on your website, they start filling out an order form, but they don't complete the purchase, does your email platform and does your shopping cart platform allow you to send that individual an email, because they may have entered their email details but not the credit card yet? Does it allow you to send out an email to say, hey, did you forget about this? Did life get in the way? Here's a discount, go complete the sale now. It's something as simple as that that can double your conversion rates. So you're paying the same amount for that advert, but you're doubling your sales by fixing one little issue in your business. The other thing is, if they're opting in for a lead magnet of any kind, how solid is your email sequence that follows up in the background? We use the platform GetResponse to send out all of our email marketing campaigns through. We used to be massive advocates of Infusionsoft. I'm sorry to say it, but they became really dated, really clunky and hard to use, and super expensive for so many businesses. And we researched, I don't know how many platforms, and spent over a month in this research before we made the switch to GetResponse. Check out the link in the comments below, and any other resources I mentioned, including Unbounce.com too. What you have to understand is that if you're capturing that lead and you're not getting an initial sale out of it, then is that email sequence actually converting for you afterwards? That's another really quick win for many businesses who are advertising on Facebook who are not making money yet, to just go back and check those email sequences. Are you getting opens on those subject lines? Is the offer strong enough, whatever the offer is? Is there kind of a countdown, a sense of urgency around it? I know many people complain, say, hey Ben, my target market really doesn't connect with these countdown timer things. I call absolute BS on that. Have you tried it? Or is that an assumption? Because here we look at the data, and the data tells us that people do respond to that in various industries. Even if you're in the self-help industry, it's the whole connecting to your soul thing, the personal development. It works incredibly well. It is human psychology. It has nothing to do with that particular interest. If there's a form of urgency and you need to close the sale, then close the sale. Obviously, do it ethically and provide great value, product, service, whatever you're selling. But understand that it comes back to human psychology and you can't ignore it. Do not let your own assumptions get in the way of making a smart business decision. I'll get off my little soapbox right now. The other thing that you can do to decrease your advertising costs is to use a platform such as AdEspresso, see the link in the comments below, to help with that testing. This speeds it up. So in AdEspresso, you put all your copy in and then you upload 5, 10 different images. Then it creates a ton of different variations between the image and the copy. And then you can cull through that within the next 72 hours, then create more tests so you can keep on scaling that up. Now to do that, that might take, hell, could even take 60 minutes of your day. I have practiced in the last few years, the first half of my day, 9 till 12, is focused on creating your ad tests, assessing existing ads. Then all afternoon, I've got to focus on all of my passion projects, writing my new book, all of that other fun stuff. So get the money making done in the first half of the day. I see so many people, Facebook advertising is an afterthought. It should be done immediately when you're fresh, when you can work through the mental gymnastics that is Facebook ads and make those assessments. It is quite tiring to be looking at all of this data consistently. You need to do it when you're fresh. So that's another tip to help decrease your Facebook ad costs. This is, hi Ben, I have 3,500 fans on Facebook, but sales have dropped dramatically due to online sales pressure from the big boys in the business. Now, The person that wins the Facebook advertising game is the individual that can afford to pay the most to acquire a customer. And you've probably heard this from multiple different experts. Well, you're going to hear it from me because it's the truth. If you can pay more to acquire a customer than your competitor, then you will always perform better. Now, how do you afford to pay more to get that customer? Well, that's taking in all of the steps that I suggested in the answers of the last questions. So your landing page, the hero image, testing different copy, long form, short copy, video length, long, short, also testing sales videos up on your landing pages too. They work amazingly well for us, and they continue to work because they explain the product or service that we offer in very clear and real terms that people understand. By fixing all of those things in the background, that allows you to increase your advertising budget, but also ensure that you're making profit. I mean, decreasing abandoned shopping carts is one of the things that, if that doubles your profit in the back end, you immediately can afford to spend more on advertising. And even if you have a Shopify store, for example, then in Shopify, there are countless plugins in which you can create timers on a product page that it counts it down, gives people a discount, but once the timer counts down, the price goes back to normal. So there are different elements that you can pull in to fix those issues to help you be able to afford to acquire a customer more than what one of your competitors can actually pay. In relation to this person's 3,500 fans on the Facebook page, the great news is although it's 3,500, and I'm not saying that that's small because it's a great start, what is happening with Facebook right now is the bigger a Facebook fan page grows, the smaller the organic reach actually occurs. So I know there was one stat, it's probably over 12 months, so it's probably changed now, but it did show that if you hit 100,000 Facebook fans, then your organic reach dropped from something from 6% down to 2%. Now I know it's even smaller now. In the last couple of months, I have watched huge Facebook pages with 3 million fans on them. Their page engagement has gone from a couple of thousand likes or shares down to 30 or 40 likes and shares. So everyone is being impacted by these changes. I do encourage you to boost the posts on your Facebook page to your Facebook fans. Now, Facebook indicated only a couple of weeks back that that is one of the signals. Engagement on your Facebook page is a signal that they factor in when they look at your adverts and the conversions and clicks that you're getting. So the more engagement on your Facebook page that you have, the better your adverts perform. Now, I've stated this for many years, but we've actually had some form of clarification from Facebook that yes, that is a factor that plays into it. So set aside a percentage of your budget to boost whatever goes up on your Facebook page for the day. In Ads Espresso, we set that automatically to say, okay, $30 or $20 per day will go to promoting whatever posts appear that are scheduled on our Facebook page. And we have noticed by doing that, that's helped increase our profit margins. So automatically, many people will look at that and go, wait a sec, Ben, that's just spending more money. It's not going to get me a result. No, you won't get sales directly from that ad. The sales come indirectly because you're sending a positive signal to Facebook. Hope that makes sense.